as part of our Smart Sites Partners Program. And here, Rachel hosting the luncheon room today. So Okendo is a reviews platform for Shopify. And I'll let her get into the details, but really, I was so impressed by this. And now, I've almost got the Okendo bug. Anywhere I shop, which is mostly Amazon, happens to be, and I look through the reviews and I go like, man, they could use Okendo. And one of the core features, or my favorite features, is that they really look at reviews on products and say, hey, like what attributes are most important here, and they pull it out. Then I'll give you an example. So, I was shopping on Amazon for a toy for my kids, right? Specifically, I want to buy them a Nerf gun. And one of the things I was looking for reading the reviews is people are complaining that the trigger is too hard to pull, and the kids can't actually use the gun. I have no idea what age these kids are that can't pull the trigger. So really this review is useless for me, right? I need to know what age they are, right? And the gun's something like, 4+. So was it like a 10-year-old who can't pull the trigger, or was it a 4-year-old, right? And without that extra piece of information, this review is so much less useful. Really, fashion, I think, will be the examples you'll see today. And that makes sense too. It's like, hey, the shirts are too small. Okay, what size are you usually, and what size did you get, right? And without that piece of information, you read the review and either like A, you're too scared and you just don't buy it, or B, you buy a bunch of different sizes and end up returning a bunch, which is just, operational cost. And again, I say I have the Okendo bug because everywhere I shop now, I'm just like, man, like they don't have Okendo and they need it. And needless to say, it is now one of my toys because my kids cannot pull the trigger. So I wish I knew that. Okay, I think that's it for me. I will let Rachel take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that intro, Mike. Love to hear that. And thank you everyone for joining. I'm super excited to take you through a demo of Okendo. Can everyone see my screen at the moment?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so the agenda for today, I'll give you a bit of background on Okendo, just so you know a bit more about how we started, and then I'll take you through a live demo of some actual live widgets and how it can be kind of set up and how it can be customized. I'll also take you through all of our integration partners. That's something that I feel we really excel in as well. And then we'll touch on performance and optimization, because those are really important points for us to look at as agencies. And then we'll go through pricing and a little Okendo versus Yappo, who I know is one of the major competitors in the space. So a bit about me. I head up strategic partnerships over at Okendo. And as Mike mentioned, I did used to head up strategic partnerships over at Mute6. I've also got a pretty strong background in progressive web apps and headless, so I'm super focused on how we can make e-commerce sites the most performant possible. And I've got about 10 years experience in e-commerce and digital marketing specifically. So I actually got into the game buying Facebook ads. So that's really like how I moved throughout e-commerce and got my start in strategic partnerships. So about Okendo, we were established in 2016 in Sydney, Australia. So we've since grown. We've got about 20 or so developers that are still based out of Australia, but our sales support and success team mostly sits in Miami now. So we opened that office earlier this year, and then I'm a lone ranger out here in Los Angeles. So today we service about 2,300 Shopify merchants. As Mike touched on, we're only Shopify right now. I am hoping to diversify our platform strategy within the next 12 to 18 months. I would love to see us moving over to Magento, BigCommerce, maybe Salesforce Commerce Cloud. But right now, there's just so much room to grow in Shopify. And as Mike mentioned, like the Shopify part of your business is growing so quickly, we're finding that there's just so many more merchants that we can be servicing and getting in front of in the Shopify space. So we're continually enhancing our Shopify product. Not a day goes by that we're not trying to build out something bigger and better and more exciting, and something that's gonna really blow the socks off these Shopify merchants that we work with. So when it comes to why someone would use Okendo, merchants are always talking about three major points. It's the product, the service, and the price. These are all really standout areas for us. And to begin, I guess it's best if I jump into some product examples and show you what you can achieve using the Okendo widgets. So this is Skims, Kim Kardashian's brand. She, of course, uses Okendo. One thing that you'll notice here is that it looks like this widget was custom built for their site. I always will go shopping and I'm going from site to site and I can always see, okay, this is a Yappo widget, or this is a Judge Me widget, this is a stamped widget. It's never like it was consistently built for that site. So, you know, all of these fast growing D2C brands are spending so much money on their branding, and then they're whacking on this old widget that looks the same as everyone else's reviews widget. So we don't want that for the brands that work with us. We want them to have the ultimate flexibility to create something that's special and unique to their brand. And this is all achieved just using the inbuilt style editor within the Okendo app. So you don't need to write a line of code. You can change all of these with toggles in the back end of the app, which is really special, because if you want to achieve something unusual with any of the other apps, you're going to have to write code. And they're definitely not going to write any code for you, that's for sure. If you want to achieve something that's really unusual and left of center with Okendo, and you can't do that using the inbuilt style editor for some reason, my team is super happy to write that code for you and pop it in. They find that really exciting. They love doing something unusual. You know, we have clients that use wine glasses instead of stars, or they have fridges on this slider. They have really unique widget experiences. We love doing that stuff. You just need to ask us, no problem. Moving over to Margot, this is a footwear brand that we work with. So here you can see, like, it's the same widget, but it looks completely different. It's super consistent with their branding. They're also showcasing the product variant on the side here. So instead of having reviews that are only for a single variant, and then you have a bunch of shoes that don't have any reviews, and then you have a few types of the shoes that have a lot of reviews, we are able to group them all together just using the Okendo app, so that every PDP, if you have like a bunch of different variants, has all of those reviews on that same PDP. So that's really important, because we know if you have 0 or less than 10 reviews on your PDP, you're significantly reducing your conversion rate. That's what the studies show. You need to have at least 10. So by grouping variants, or by grouping, say, like different products that are inside a bundle, it allows us to kind of supercharge that review strategy and increase your conversion rates on site faster. So something to notice here as well, these customer attributes. So as Mike mentioned, these are really important, especially if you're a merchant that has a great returns policy. You're going to see a lot of customers purchasing 2 sizes with the full intention of sending the size back that doesn't fit. This is particularly important during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holidays, where, you know, you might sell out of stock and then 2-3 weeks later you get 30% returns. We want to avoid that at all costs. So in this scenario where we're selling shoes, I can see the usual size, the size purchased, the foot width, and the fit. So if I'm a size 7 and I see that Mary Ann purchased a size 37.5, and the fit is perfect, I'm more likely to have more confidence in that purchase decision, and I'm just going to buy one of those shoes instead of, or one pair of shoes, I should say, instead of 2 pairs. And that saves me time, because as a consumer, I don't want to waste my time going back to UPS or wherever it is and sending those shoes back. I'd prefer to just purchase one and have it fit the first time. Also worth calling out here are these product attributes. So a 5-star review will tell you that a customer loved the product, but it doesn't necessarily tell you anything else. I'm sure you've all been to sites and read the reviews, and it says something like, amazing, love it. And that's great, but it doesn't necessarily call out those unique selling points for your product. So if our key selling points are comfort, quality, and sizing, I can build that into my reviews widget, and then the unique selling points are highlighted without us relying on that reviewer putting it into the body of their review. So when you and I hit this site, we see straight away, okay, these shoes are very comfortable and they're the highest quality. So really important there. And of course, all of these items are customizable based on the product, based on the merchant, your brand voice as well. So you can be really creative with it. So here, this is the QuickClick, a cosmetics firm that we work with. They're showcasing an aggregate at the top here. So we can see the quality, staying power, ease of use, and speed of application is pretty much excellent across the board. And they have 5 stars in over 2,700 of their reviews. So we're pretty confident about the viability of this product without needing to go through too many reviews. They're also showcasing their UGC in a gallery up here. Now, we allow you to incentivize for photo or video UGC collection. You can choose to showcase it on the widget. You can hide it. That's totally up to you. You can have it in large pictures, small pictures, whatever you feel like. This is important though, because any content that is submitted through Okendo is owned by the merchant. That's part of our terms and conditions. So that means that if you want to use UGC in your marketing campaigns, you are fully able to. From my experience with Facebook ad campaigns, I always found that the best converting creatives were these really scrappy UGC mashups that we do. So it's someone just talking to the camera about how much they love the product. We chop a bunch of those sound bites together. We whack over some 5-star reviews, kind of graphics on it. And those, even though they were scrappy, used to convert at such a high rate. So collecting this UGC, showcasing it is super powerful. If I wanted to utilize that UGC for aligning my product decision with someone that's similar to me, I can filter out based on any of these elements. So if I have hooded eyes, I'll filter out and just look at the pictures and reviews from other women with hooded eyes. And then if I see that the product works for them, I'm going to align my purchase decision with theirs, and I'm more likely to convert. So that's really valuable. And something worth calling out here is that all of these customer attributes can be synced over into Klavio customer data profiles or OmniSend if your client is using OmniSend. And then we can build out segments and targeted campaigns based on that information. So perhaps I have a new product that's coming out that's really suitable for women with almond eyes and I want to promote it to them. I can create this segment within Klavio and I can send out targeted copy and emails to all of those women. So I've got a higher chance of getting that click-through rate and getting that conversion at the end of the day if I'm able to speak to that segment like it's one-to-one. Any questions so far on the widget?
No, not yet.
Awesome. Cool. So to put it into numbers of how those robust widgets affect the shopper behavior, we did a case study of about 300 of our merchants a little while ago, and we found that customers are more likely by 3.4 times to convert after interacting with Okendo. So you can imagine, like, this is potentially a huge number when it comes to dollars and revenue into the business. If you're able to 4x that, you definitely want to be utilizing a robust reviews strategy. And also, we've seen that the increase in order value was 15% among shoppers that interacted with Okendo as well. So super viable. We know we're going to get a huge ROI if we're implementing this sort of strategy. Now, I did mention our Klavio integration. So this is pretty new and it's super unique. Okendo is the only platform that has this sort of integration with Klavio. You're probably seeing that around like 80% of your merchants on the Shopify are using Klavio. I'm not sure what the numbers are like outside of Shopify, but Klavio has just taken over the market, and we seem to have a lot of consistency between our merchants. So we wanted this to be the best integration possible. So we actually allow merchants to send all of their review request sequences directly from Klavio. So if you're using like a Judge Me or a Stamped or Yappo, you're going to be sending the emails from the back end of that reviews app. For merchants, it's really important to keep everything together and consistent and branded. So if you're sending your review request sequences from Klavio instead of Okendo, you can utilize your existing templates and blocks. So everything's on brand for you. And then you can also utilize the A/B testing functionality that comes within Klavio. So this will help you to maximize review collections because you can tweak little things and make sure that you're getting the highest possible click-through and review collection. As I mentioned on the QuickClick, you can also sync over your customer attributes to Klavio. This allows you to build out segments based on those customer attributes. And then you can create those targeted personalized campaigns. One other thing that I haven't mentioned yet that's super powerful is we allow you to dynamically inject star ratings and reviews into emails. So this adds social proof and credibility. You can add it onto any kind of email, but we see it used most often in abandoned cart flows. So you can say, hey, look what you left behind in your cart and look at how many people love this product. You will too. Come on, click through and buy it. So that is very powerful also for product recommendation emails. So here is a success story from our client WAG. They sell puppy treats, dog treats, and here is what their review widget looked like. They were collecting data around the dog breed, the dog age, and the eating habits. And then they were using those elements synced over to Klavio to build out segments based on exactly that. So they would be able to recommend it for your puppy, something that's really specific and it's going to work. With that campaign, WAG saw a 64% increase in review request clicks, 300% increase in placed order rate, and then it actually increased the revenue per recipient by 423%. So really astounding, and it just goes to show, like, when you are building out these sort of one-to-one marketing strategies that are targeted and personalized, it really pays off. All right, so other integrations. When it comes to help desk, we work with Gorgeous, Zendesk, and Customer. We're able to, say, ping over if someone leaves you a 1 or 2 or even 3-star review, it's up to you. You can have your team pinged on Gorgeous, and then they're able to follow up with that customer and see exactly what was wrong and maybe rectify and create a better client or customer experience. I am coming out with a version 2 of that integration, hopefully next year in Q1, and we'll be allowing you to respond to any questions that you receive on the widget or any reviews from within Gorgeous. So that's going to save teams heaps of time because they don't need to switch from app to app. They can answer all the questions and maintain their daily activities within Gorgeous. When it comes to loyalty, we allow you to either use our inbuilt rewards engine or you can use a loyalty partner. So this is what our engine looks like. We allow you to incentivize differently based on what you'd like to collect. So maybe you will be collecting normal text reviews and maybe you're offering 10% off that for a coupon for 10% off for a text review. But perhaps you're really interested in collecting that UGC. Maybe UGC photo you found converts highly on your site. So you're going to offer 15% off coupons for someone that submits a photo review. Perhaps you are looking to really enhance that Facebook strategy and you want to collect video content so that you can create one of those UGC mashup videos. And maybe you want to incentivize 25% off when someone submits a review and uploads a video. So that's all completely customizable. You can change it as you wish. Maybe you've got a new merchant that's just getting started and they really want to create reviews on their site, but they don't have anything yet. So we might put really generous discounts on until they get to that, 10 reviews per PDP, and then maybe we dial it back. So that's totally up to you, and my team can help you strategize on your behalf as well. Something else that's really neat that we allow you to do is add in this minimum purchase of X. So if you want to increase your lifetime value as well as increasing AOV, you can put in a discount code, but it's only viable with the minimum purchase. Of course, completely customizable. Back to loyalty. So it's really simple. If you don't want to use our rewards engine and you'd like to give someone loyalty points, you can just select that here. We have seamless integrations with Loyalty Line, Smile.io, and I'm releasing an integration with Rise.ai next month. Okay, something else worth calling out here is probably 460. So 460 is a UGC gallery for your website that you pull from Instagram. This is what it looks like here. So if I click into 460, it's got the Okendo integration here, and I can see my star ratings are fed through onto each of the products. So at every step, we're just making sure that we have credibility, we have social proof, and therefore we're improving conversions. All right, now I know you do a lot of PPC over at Smart Sites, so I thought this would be helpful to highlight. We are able to push star ratings over into Google PLAs, super important. I would recommend that every merchant is doing this just because I've seen the increase in click-through rate when you have those star ratings attributed. In this particular example, I searched for shapewear bodysuit. You can see I had a variety of options pop up. So I've got Skims, Spanx, Skims, and Net-a-Porter. If I'm seeing that these are so highly rated, I'm much more likely to click through onto these rather than this or this that doesn't have any social proof. So that can be a real game changer for your strategy. Of course, we also allow for Google rich snippets. So in this search, I did booty leggings, which is one of our clients, Booty, and they've shown up with their star ratings on each of these product listings. So again, we're just adding social proof at every point along that journey. And we can add in Google seller ratings at $149 per month as an add-on of any package. All right. So something that I'm also super focused on is, of course, performance and optimization. You'll find that when you install a reviews platform, it has, generally speaking, it has a significant impact on the page load speed. I've noticed this when we're running lighthouse audits on a page that doesn't have reviews, and then they install Yappo, and it slows down their site significantly. And that used to really break my heart because I know that every millisecond that our page is slowed down, it reduces the conversions, and the numbers are really astounding. So we have aimed to make sure we have the fastest performing widgets. Everything that we do is lazy loading, so it doesn't slow down that page load. And also, I'm not sure if you're doing any work around headless or PWAs, but we have a NPM install package that is 14.4 kilobytes, while Yappo is around 170 kilobytes gzipped. So there's just no comparison there. And we've also got a 50% lower payload than any of the other competitors on the market. So if you are focused on site speed, it's definitely the way to go with Okendo. For a mobile experience, this is also super important. We know that about 80% of reviews are left via a mobile device. So every touch point within that reviews journey has been super optimized to make sure it works perfectly on mobile. And I can't say this for the other platforms. So this is Yota. Some of you might be familiar. Every year they come up with a third-party performance indicator rating index. Bit of a mouthful, but it works. And here are a few examples of what you're likely to see. The yellow mark represents an inconsistent negative performance impact. And so we can see that Stamped and Yappo, both yellow. Okendo has got the green check, and this represents little or no performance impact. So something that we're super proud of, and something that's really important for fast-growing D2C brands. All right, any questions so far? Good. All right, so this is really the most important part for a lot of merchants, pricing. We don't have any long, unreasonable, expensive annual contracts like a lot of the others do. It's simply month to month, pay as you go. Merchants stay with us because they love the platform and they're seeing a huge ROI, not because we've locked them into a long contract. So the most popular package is this Power Plan. This will get you access to that Klavio integration. You also get a dedicated customer success manager, so we'll help you import all of your old reviews so that when you move over to us, everything is flashy and ready to go. Another package that's probably viable for your merchants is the growth plan. On this plan, you can push those star ratings through to Google PLAs. You get the product and customer attributes, and you also get the Q&A on the widget. Essential is really basic entry level. You can customize the front end, but you don't get the product and customer attributes. So I'd only recommend this for businesses that are really tight on their budget and just starting out. And then I would look for them to grow into these packages where they're going to see that huge ROI and see the real benefit and advantages of using Okendo. Otherwise, this $4.99 per month package. This gets you API access. So if you are building headlessly, you're going to need that. Or perhaps you have reviews on Walmart.com and Ulta, and you want to syndicate those across to your website. This Bizarre Voice integration will allow you to do so. All right. So some client example here. This is Wondero bracelets. They moved over from Yappo to Okendo, and using our robust widgets, they saw an increased rate of 70% review generation, 6.8 times increase in the rate of UGC generation, and then overall their subscription fees reduced by $700 per month. So not only did the ROI go up because the cost was lower, but they had a huge improvement in what they were actually acquiring using Okendo UGC collection. So little last slide here. Okendo versus Yappo. I mean, this is everything that we've touched on already, and you can kind of use a lot of the other platforms as examples here. But when it comes to customizations, Okendo is very customizable, no code required. Yappo or the others, there are some customizations available, but there are boundaries, and it must be coded. When it comes to performance, Okendo is super fast. Yappo slows page load speed. Okendo has this robust Klavio integration. Yappo does not. When it comes to price, we are super affordable month-to-month pricing, and none of these expensive annual contracts that you'll see with some of the competitors. Loyalty and SMS, I mean, this is worth calling out. We've worked really hard to build out seamless integrations with all of the major providers in the other tech areas. We do not believe in this notion of jack of all trades, master of none. That's not what we want to be. We want to build out the best ratings and reviews platform possible. We want to, enhance everything with robust data. We're not just going to build out this Frankenstein company that acquires, second-rate companies and tries to stick them all together, and create this marketing platform. But that might work for some people. I shouldn't, be too nasty about that. If you want to do everything under the same roof, yeah, go for it. But I'd prefer to have the best of breed in each of my services. Anyway, that's it. That's my spiel. Are there any questions?
Actually, yes. Hi, Rachel. My name is Irina. We met just a bit earlier, and I actually have 2 questions for you. Do you guys have any way to handle or manage bad reviews in any way?
Yes. So when it comes to moderation, let me pull this up with you. The merchant has the full availability to decide what they would like to publish and what they'd like to just manage in-house. So this is what our reviews panel moderation looks like. So if this is a great review, perhaps I want to set up auto-publish on all 4- and 5-star reviews, and that's going to save me time. I'm able to set those rules within Okendo. If there's a review that's maybe not ideal, I can respond to that via email privately and sort out the problems with the customer directly, and I don't need to publish this review. However, we do recommend that sometimes merchants publish bad reviews because it makes it feel more real, more realistic. And so if you're publishing a bad review or maybe not glowing review, you can respond to that directly on the, I've got one up here, on the reviews widget. So this is a public response here, which is really sweet. If, for example, you get a review that comes through and it's a rave review, you love the content, perfect, but it has this UGC photo alongside it, and that photo is not on brand, let's say. I mean, you can imagine what kind of UGC you get through sometimes. You can hide it. So you can publish all the text in that review and hide the UGC, and that's perfect. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much. And my next question would be, as you know, the user now has an even shorter attention span that it used to have. So the concern, not a concern, but are you guys ever concerned that the more info you ask from a user in a review, the more likely he or she is to bounce because they don't want to spend the time or they just lost focus? And if that's the case, do you guys have any best practices or guidelines you give your marketers that would help them avoid these little problems?
Yeah, that's actually such a good question. We recommend no more than, say, 3 items here. Of course, the customer or the merchant has the full ability to customize this, so they're able to change it up and test out what works for them to maximize review collection. So it's sort of weighing up, okay, what information is going to help me convert higher on site versus what amount of information will cause drop off in that review's capture form. So sometimes you'll find like a nice happy medium. This merchant still gets the highest generation of reviews, even though they ask for so much information, which, yeah, it surprises me. It seems really counterintuitive. But I think if you have an incentive that is valuable to the shopper, they're more likely to go through and fill out that information. And let's take a look at what it actually looks like on the form. So we'll be able to say, amazing, good. Yes, I'd recommend this. And then it's pretty simple to just go through and click it. So it's kind of lightweight. This is all really nice for me to do either on desktop or on my phone. And that's it's kind of quick and simple. But yes, in terms of best practices, we recommend about 3 data points here, maximum. But other merchants just like it really simple and straightforward here, and all they want to do is collect that true to size piece. Another interesting way that you can use it is, let me pull up the sticker. So this is a really great company that we work with. Love these guys. They've got really simple review widgets here, like very straightforward. It only has the star ratings and text. That's all they want on it, and this aggregate. But when I go to leave a review, and let's do the same thing, love they're actually collecting this information. So even though they're not showcasing it on the front end for whatever reason, they want to keep everything super clean and sharp, they're using this data to build out their marketing campaigns. And I, of course, can upload all of my email addresses in certain segments to Facebook as well. So I can build out custom audiences in Facebook or lookalike audiences so that I'm able to reach a new audience that has similar characteristics to my existing audience, and I can tailor the messaging so that it fits those people. Or of course, you can sync these over to Klavio or OmniSend and build out your targeted campaigns based on that. So it's pretty neat. I really like how you can still capture that data and you can still be flexible on the front end.
It looks very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rachel, can you remind me if we have a referral client we want to send your way? I know you have that custom dashboard where I could submit a referral, but for the actual introduction, can we loop you in or there's someone else?
Yeah, so if you submit the referral through the dashboard, my sales team reaches out directly to either you or the merchant based on your selection. If it's easier for you to just do a direct intro, you're always welcome to just shoot it over to my email address, and then I will fill out that dashboard for you to make sure your team is getting all of the credit for that referral.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully this has been insightful and valuable, but really nice chatting to you, and thank you for the great questions. And hopefully we're able to continue building out this partnership and get some great shared clients in the works and some case studies and co-marketing and everything that comes along with a great partnership.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.